We have a week, as you all know, leading up to Sunday's festivities. But we also have a very important events here in this week in Los Angeles where corporations and foundations get together and they sponsor music preservations and all sorts of things that are important to schools, high schools, elementary schools all over the country. And we have with us a corporate sponsor and a foundation, and I'm going to let her introduce herself to make sure we get it straight and let her do and tell us what's going on here at the Grammys Week.
Well, thanks for being here. First of all, I'm Pamela Alexander. I'm Director of Community Development with Ford Motor Company Fund, which is the philanthropic arm of Ford. And Ford Fund has been partnering with the Grammy Foundation for about 5 years now to help support music programs in schools because you know and I know that when you have a music program in a school, grades go up, graduation rates go up. Everything happens positively as a result of having a music program in a school. So to the extent we can support that throughout the country, we've awarded signature school grants in 15 cities, I think, so far. We'll be doing 3 more this year. And then we're sponsoring tonight's Grammy in the Schools program with 1S.
So the Ford basically is responsible for a lot of philanthropy work that over the centuries, and the Ford family itself has been very influential in the communities all over this country and the world for that matter. But we also want to know what is it that the Ford Foundation basically is looking to do as far as high schools and preservation of music and things of that nature.
Well, it's Ford Fund. Ford Foundation is actually in New York, and that's
thank you for correcting us.
Company, that's okay. But Ford Fund is interested in helping keeping music programs in schools.
But let me. But what is the difference between the foundation and the fund?
Ford Motor Company Fund is the philanthropic arm of Ford Motor Company. Ford Foundation has nothing to do with Ford Motor Company. It's a separate entity altogether out of New York. But by us providing grants to schools, it helps them keep their music program and support their music program and build their music program because the cost of a music program, excluding the teacher, is actually not very high. So if we can provide grants to schools that help them keep the music program going, it just has a positive impact on schools and education wherever it is. And with so many cuts and things like that in school systems, a lot of schools are in danger of or are losing their music programs. So we're trying to do what we can to prevent that in as many cities and as many areas as we can. And we've had a national partnership with the Grammy Foundation for a few years now.
Well, let me ask you about the methodology and the way that you go about assisting these communities. Do you work with the superintendent or the school districts and you find out what they're lacking? How does it really work? How does it work?
Well, there's an application process where schools can apply to the Grammy Foundation for one of their signature school grants. We fund the overall program and then we fund grants in 3 individual cities selected by Ford each year. And those grants, which are around $5,500 to $6,000 per school, which will keep a music program going for a bit, or supplement it, is based on the school performance, the school music department, and then those decisions are made by the Grammy Foundation. We just provide the funding for the grants to the school at Ford.
How much money has the Ford Fund, since its incorporation, has it been able to assist communities? Do you know a rough figure last year, the last fiscal year?
You know, in the past several years, because one thing, you're right about the Ford family. Ford Motor Company Fund has been in existence for decades, 6 decades. And we've always been there. We've always invested in community in good times and bad. When times are bad, the budget isn't quite as high, but we've never stopped giving to communities. And that investment number just in the past 10 years or so is in the hundreds of millions of dollars. It's a great deal of investment in communities.
Well, let me ask one last question. So what's the next thing? What's on the next agenda? What's the next challenge for the Ford Fund?
Well, we're continuing to do education. We're continuing to do, and you're in San Diego, correct? We have a great national program called Driving Skills for Life, where we instruct newly licensed drivers, leading cause of death for teenagers, and the things that they do wrong. We partnered with the Governor's Highway Safety Association to study this several years back, and now we have a program that goes around the country with professional former race car drivers that teaches kids about the things. We have specialized cars, we have specialized courses, and it is actually coming to San Diego in the near future, and it'll be here in LA. It only swings through a city every few years, so drivingskillsforlife.com. If people are interested, they should go on ASAP and get their young drivers signed up because it can really help them in an emergency situation.
One last question. What is that website once again for the public if they want to basically know how to get involved?
Drivingskillsforlife.com will take you to the website for the teen driving instruction we're going to be doing in San Diego very, very soon. So I'd go to that.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.